Okay, we are live. Hello, everybody. I'm super excited to bring you this comparison today because everybody has been asking me for it. Oops, let me just turn that down there. Okay, today we're going to directly compare head to head ChatGPT and Jasper. Directly compare. Hold on. There we go. What I want to do today is while Jasper has many uses that aren't always for blogging, content marketing, I want to compare the chat element specifically, and then I want to go in and show you guys how I use the two together and why I think they both are useful, but where one is better than the other. And there are differences for me anyway in which ones I use for which aspects. So let me just open my chat here so that I can see you guys. There we go. All right, perfect. So if you have questions, type them in there. I'm excited to see you, but I'm going to be teaching and guiding, so I'm going to focus there. And if there's anything that I don't answer on this live stream today, feel free to reach out or comment in the video, and I'm going to go through all the comments and make sure I answer all of you guys. So ChatGPT, obviously, there are a lot of people claiming to be ChatGPT gurus, and it's kind of comical because it's so new. How can anybody really be a guru? So if you're anything like me and you're testing the waters, we're playing with it. We're testing it. What does it do? How far can we push it? What kind of content can we get out of it? Is it going to rank on Google? Those are the types of things that I'm doing, right? So let me know there in the chats if you guys are already using ChatGPT or if you're on another AI tool. I've been testing AI avatar video creators, AI art, several different AI generative content platforms. And then also SEO, AI SEO. Of course, we're using AI grammar checker. So AI is the name of the game no matter what. Somebody asked me earlier today if I thought that there's my cat back there eating the plant. All my plants are cat safe, so don't anybody panic. Somebody asked me if I thought content writers were going to be replaced, and I think content writers are going to be could be displaced. But I think most content writers who are going to be doing what we're doing, like today on this live stream, are going to become more editors, right? They're going to learn really good skill set around prompting AI and getting the best response out of it. That's going to be an incredibly valuable asset. Are you kidding me? That could become more valuable than regular writing because the people that can actually direct AI to get the best non-generic output, I think, are going to be the ones that get hired. So I just think it's different. It's just the game is changing, right? Okay. All right. So I'll just go ahead and show you what my differences are. I'm going to pop over here and just put myself on the screen there. All right. So what we have here is we have Jasper open on this tab. And if you've never looked at it before, this is going to be helpful for you to get an idea of the differences. And then I have ChatGPT open here. Now, for those of you who may not know, and I'm not going to get into all the technicals of it today, but ChatGPT is free if you can get in, or they have rolled out an offer for you to pay for it from what I understand. I don't work for OpenAI, the people that created ChatGPT. I don't have any affiliation with them. I'm just using the tool. So right now I'm still on a free platform. For those of you that can't get in, you actually can go to openai.com. Go to openai.com, register, and click Playground. There actually is a way for you to play with ChatGPT right in the Playground for free. And I don't think most people know about that. It looks a little different, but it still lets you go in there and use it. It just looks a little bit geekier, I think. Okay, so Steve says he has it paid and he's paying $20 a month. I understand that that's being rolled out. I understand it's not in all the countries. I have not been pitched it yet. I'm in using the free version. I understand the $20 gets you more. It keeps you from getting kicked out, gives you quicker access from what I understand. Steve, you can fill us in if there's anything else the paid version has that the free one doesn't, okay? Now, ChatGPT basically is a text generator. You give it a prompt, You tell it something you want it to do. You ask it a question. It's responding to you in real language, but not always facts. That's very important to know. So it understands language. It understands how to communicate, but it gets facts wrong a lot. It's not a real-time researcher unless you can download. What I did is I downloaded this Chrome extension called Web Chat GPT. Web Chat GPT is a Chrome extension that connects ChatGPT to the web. It's amazing. It'll mess you up if you don't know how to use it right, though. So what I do is I'll communicate with ChatGPT here. I'll do whatever my content is that I need, and then I turn this little toggle on. Now I can search the web live. So for example, let's say I create a piece of content in ChatGPT. I create an outline or something, and I go, I really need like 3 sources for this. Maybe I'm writing about home values. So I might type something in and say something like, what is the best way to determine home value, for example. Now ChatGPT, there's that good old error. We're going to see that a lot, by the way, still in beta. I do wonder, does the paid access stop that from happening? I'm going to try that again. What is the best way to determine home value? Now, if I don't have the web turned on, ChatGPT just answers the question. But when I have it on, it goes out and scours the web and pulls in some sources. Then I can use those sources to create citations or quotes, things like that. So I'm just going to go ahead and hit that and see what it does for us. Best way to determine the home value is to get professional appraisal or use a comparative market analysis. Okay, so it's answering the question straight away and not pulling in quotes yet. Okay, so let me ask it a different question. Who determines the home value? There it goes. Now it scanned the web. I can see it up here. Okay, so now it gives you answers. When it cites a source, if it's going to do it there, it'll put it in a little number and put there it is, and put a parentheses around it. I love this for writing. Okay, I'm going to go back to ChatGPT and show you the Jasper and show you the differences, but I need to show you Chat first. So I got it connected to the web using a Chrome extension called Web Chat GPT that's free. Create the content, and now I'm doing some research. Or I may have multiple chats going back and forth, and I'm going to do some research. Now I could actually take this section here, and I can now go in and say, create a quote around this. And then I can just click on that little 2, and I can see at the bottom left of my computer, it's valuepenguin.com. And then I could actually source valuepenguin.com. What's interesting about this is, you know what this tells me? Everybody's so worried about this replacing Google. And we know that Bing is making a big announcement today about their investment in ChatGPT. And tomorrow, Google's making their big announcement about Bard. Is that right? Bard, their new, terrible names, their new AI assistant. So what's going to happen now is these sources, guys, it's basically pulling from the top 3 of Google for a particular search query. So now it's just never been more important for us to get in those top positions of Google, because now everybody's going to be using these sources. I've been doing it all week. I've been publishing blog after blog after blog using the sources that ChatGPT is giving me through this web chat. Okay. So absolutely incredible. So if you don't see this down at the bottom, what you need to do is you need to go over to the Chrome store. So go to the Chrome store online, and you're going to look for the Chrome extension called Web Chat GPT. Web Chat GPT. And basically, I'll just show you this because to me, it's just crazy. Go to the Chrome store. So I just typed in Chrome store, or you can go to the chrome.google.com. Up here, type in ChatGPT. Guys, there are I don't even know how many there are. I didn't look how many there are. There are so many ChatGPT Chrome extensions now that are creating all kinds of functionality. I did a video the other day on my 11 top favorites so far, but I'm going down and playing with a bunch of them and seeing what they all do, and it's absolutely incredible. Okay, so if you don't see that at the bottom, you need to come into the Chrome store, and up at the top, type in Web Chat GPT. There it is. Then you're going to download it. Okay. You're just going to download it and then pin it up here. So what you do is you click on your little Chrome extensions, and then you can click the little thumbtack to pin it, and then it'll always show up here, and then you'll have that. Now, the drawback with this is that if you're creating a whole bunch of content, ChatGPT and so does Jasper, they both read the context above the whole conversation to use in the dialogue that they're having with you. So they understand all the way up. I think it's up to like 3,000 words. When you pull in the web chat, it loses all that memory. So don't be messing around with the web chat and trying to create a content at the same time. It won't work as well. Now, let me show you how Jasper handles the references, okay? Because I want to show you the two differences. Because some of you will stick with ChatGPT. Some of you guys are using Jasper. I'm using both and couldn't imagine one without the other right now because I like how they integrate so well together. Okay, so for those of you that can't get into ChatGPT, let me remind you of something. Go to openai.com and register. Click on Playground. You can access ChatGPT within the Playground. It'll take away a lot of those challenges for you with getting logged in, okay? All right, so over here, Jasper has a chat element. Now, Jasper is a paid tool. And I've been on Jasper almost since the beginning. So it's been something I've been using long before ChatGPT. I personally like ChatGPT's chat better than Jasper's chat. But Jasper's editor, ChatGPT doesn't have. So this full-blown editor to be able to write, be able to create, plus I can get ChatGPT to get past the AI content detectors without a whole bunch of extra prompting that you need to do in ChatGPT. So that's one of the reasons why I'm still sticking with Jasper right now, is because I can get past, there's a trick to it, but I can get past all the AI content detectors with Jasper Chat. Is that going to matter? Nobody knows. Is Google going to really care that it's AI generated? I think they're going to care more about whether it's helpful or not helpful. But as a best practice right now, I don't want to be churning out stuff that's detected by AI content until we know what they're really going to do with it. So that's ChatGPT. Everything we produce in ChatGPT is AI content, unless you know how to really get into your prompts, and I'll show you that in a minute. So here's Jasper Chat. Let's ask it a question. So you can see the differences side by side. Okay. So we're going to go to Jasper Chat, and I'm going to say, give me blog title. Okay, let's start with topics. Give me blog topics for Instagram marketing. I haven't used that example before. Now, Jasper Chat also has connect to the internet right down here, but I don't want to turn that on when I'm just asking general questions, because then it's going to pull in sources and it's going to get all messed up and diluted. I only want to turn that on when I actually want to use the web, which is best for your direct research or pulling in sources, okay? Hey, Paul, welcome. I see ya. Okay, so Jasper Chat, give me blog topics for Instagram marketing. Now, let's look at the output that it gives us, okay? It's going to take a second. It doesn't kick you out like ChatGPT does. And they're basically using the same models, but the output's still incredibly different. Okay, now all I said was, give me blog topics for Instagram. And it gave me 10, okay? 10 creative Instagram marketing strategies. How to create engaging Instagram content. The benefits of collaborating with influencers. Okay, now let's see what ChatGPT gives us. I'm going to take that exact same prompt, and I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to get a new chat so that it's clean, because you don't want to dilute these chats with multiple conversations since they read all the way up. So you want to start a new chat when you're starting a new train of thought. Okay. So I'm going to do, give me blog topics for Instagram marketing. Okay. How to create a winning Instagram marketing strategy. Out of the gate, I like that blog title better than what Jasper gave me. Now, again, I'm going to show you where Jasper's better. But for me, this is where ChatGPT shines, is in blog topic creation, blog titles, and blog outlines. And then it gets really good with creating tables, phenomenal, that Jasper doesn't do. But Jasper's a much better writer, and I'll show you how I can get past the AI content detectors using Jasper. So you go back and forth. Now, how you prompt these things is going to make all the difference in the world. Now I could say, make this more creative. Hey, Empower You Online. I don't know your real name. Okay. See how it's messing up because it's on. I forgot. I left it on right now. So now it's actually using the web. We don't want it to do that because now it's going to go pull out those actual titles. So we'll do that again. Turn the web off. Give me blog topics for Instagram marketing. Okay. Now, if I want to prompt it to get better results, let me show you how this works. I'm going to give you a couple tips because I want this to be useful besides just a comparison. Go in here and say things like, make them more creative. That's a simple prompt, right? But guess what else you can do? You can say, create urgency, add scarcity, show excitement, make it start with a number, put the keyword up front. These are all the things that you can do with asking these things to give you titles, okay? Now, that's going to be true whether you're using Jasper or Phrase or Optimize.ai. Oh my gosh, there's a million of them. Copy.ai, okay? So let's just say, do this again, but start with a number. I do this all the time because we know numbered lists get more clicks, can tend to rank higher. So a lot of times I'll either say move the keyword to the front or have it start with a number or that type of thing when I'm playing with these titles. Okay, it did not do a good job. Jasper, you messed up that one. Let's take that same prompt. This is why I like ChatGPT for this part better. Do this again, but start with a number. Oh, except for that. All right, let's see if it'll reload for me. So just to reiterate, when it comes to blog titles, ChatGPT wins. Okay, that's my opinion. Okay, here we go. Now let's see if it does starts them with a number. There we go. So it took better direction, didn't it? Okay. So I don't understand the technicalities. I'm told that they use the same language models, but they just have a completely different output. And in my opinion, ChatGPT wins for this. And now that's why I don't want it. I would still pay for it, even though I pay for Jasper. Okay. Now let's pick one of these so that you can see the difference. Let's go with 5 secrets to crafting a killer Instagram marketing plan. Okay. Now watch what I'm going to do. I'm going to say, great, write an outline for a comprehensive blog about, and I'm going to just paste that title in there. I could have said about number 3 and it would have known number 3. Now this is where, again, ChatGPT wins hands down. It creates much better outlines. And let me tell you something. Earlier when I said our content writer is going to get replaced, and I said no, but they might be displaced. This is what I'm referring to. I've been doing it since this rolled out. I go in and take those outlines now, and I'll show you exactly how I use Jasper for the output and why in a second. I would have never come up with all these outlines. It would have taken me forever. I just probably would have used Surf for SEO, which I like, and just gone down and found some headings. But this is so well crafted and well thought out, and it gives me such a good starting point. This is probably a 2,000 to 3,000 word blog post, just based on looking at that outline. Now, I'm going to go in there and I'm going to say things like ask for links. I'm going to put in frequently asked questions. I'm going to put in references. I'm going to say, give me an example. I'm going to expand on that. I'm not just going to straight produce only that. But this output is fantastic. I mean, I'm ranking with this output, with these outlines combined with the Jasper text. Now, let me show you why. So comparing Jasper Chat, let me just do the same thing. Give me a comprehensive blog outline for 10 effective ways to use Instagram for lead generation. Okay. Now, also, well, I'll show you in a second. So let's take a real quick look at this output. That's weak. That's terrible. That's terrible. Sorry. I love Jasper and I pay for it. But in this particular case, again, ChatGPT wins hands down. Okay. That's why I'm using them both. So this is the mistake that content writers are going to do, is they're going to work off stuff like this when there's so much more comprehensive resources available if you know how to prompt it and which tool to use for which. Okay. All right. Next thing on the let me just show you the research element. I'm going to turn on Google search, and right here, we're going to type in what is the best way to sell a house myself. Okay, now it has to go scour the web. It's different. For some reason, it functions a little bit different than ChatGPT in that every time I do that, it goes out and scours the web. Or sometimes ChatGPT will still just try to answer the question without the sources. So it's going out, it's pulling them in. Now, what I find is when it pulls in these additional links, they're not as, I'm not getting the unique URL. Well, these look pretty good. Let's check them. So bank rate real estate, how to sell your house. Let's check that link. Good. Ramsey Solutions. All right, good. These are good. Sometimes they're wonky, but they came out pretty good this time. All of them are valid, okay? All right, so that's how you would use Jasper if you want to go out and pull resources. Personally, I like the way ChatGPT puts it in a sentence and puts a little source next to it, because then I can take that exact thing and I can rewrite it, put it in a quote. Where this, I kind of have to go in and pick. Like, I don't even know which one of these three said which thing. So it's much more work than when I'm using ChatGPT. So still, for me, ChatGPT wins on all elements of chat. That's my opinion on it. Okay, now let me show you where Jasper wins. Okay, now going back to this, what we could say right now with this outline is we could tell ChatGPT to write the blog. Depending on how good you are with prompts, you can give it a style of writing, a marketing style, a tone of voice. You can tell it to write an active voice. You can tell it to use descriptive adjectives, all of that to get the most unique content possible. Okay, so you're going to have to become a prompt engineer to get the best response out of it. Most people aren't. So what they're doing instead is they're taking this and they're just saying, great, write an article. Okay, and ChatGPT will do this for us. Okay, now watch. Now it's taking our article for us, and now it's going to create content. Some of the problems with this are, one, it's not good with creating the headings and the subheadings like Jasper is, unless you tell it in a lot more prompting to do that. So straight out of the gate, way more editing with ChatGPT. ChatGPT doesn't have an editor. I can't go and highlight something. I can't add a link to something. I can't. So that's going to be, you still need stops midway. And then I have to put in a prompt, keep going. Sometimes it'll be really consistent. Sometimes it'll boot me out because of the ChatGPT's issues with being overloaded. And then I've lost that train of thought and I kind of have to go back to the beginning. So for me, more work. But that's not ultimately the biggest problem is, besides the fact that the content's very generic without more prompts. I'm going to go like this and let's check the AI content detector. So I'll show you what I'm using in a second. I'm going to right click and I'm going to scan for 99% AI. It failed miserably. This is what happens almost every time. 99% AI. So unless you are getting it, you can get it to produce original content, but you have to get in there and really prompt it, okay? And then sometimes it'll lose the prompt midway, and then you got to go back and do the next prompt again. So this is a challenge, personally, I think, okay? So that's one thing. Now, for those of you that are asking what I'm using there, let me see if I can put the link for you in the chat. It is called originality.ai. I am not sure if my link gets you anything special. It is an affiliate link, which means I do benefit. No extra charge to you. I pay for Originality AI. It's one of the few that are paid tools or are free tools. And I'll tell you why. I think I only put 20 bucks in it. The main reasons are because it's got this Chrome extension that you have to be logged into. So I can access it as I'm working. I can take any portion of text and I can run that through the scanner. Where all of the free tools that I've seen so far are either one, even ChatGPT has one, it's not great, but they have one, but you have to put 1,000 words in for it to work. Then you have other ones that max out at 350 or whatever, where Originality AI, I can put the whole article in there. So for me, I'm willing to pay for something if it's more convenient and it gets the job done. But if you don't want to pay for this, just go to Google and type in free AI content detectors. There's a ton of them. Almost all of the big content tools now are starting to roll them out. But OpenAI has one. Type in OpenAI AI content detector, okay? But it will require 1,000 words to be produced first. And then you don't know where in that it has. So let me show you exactly how I do mine now, okay? So this is where we go into where I use Jasper. So here's what I'll do. I'll take this whole outline. This is my exact process, the exact process. I go over to Jasper, okay? And I'll create a new document and I'll paste that outline right here. Okay. So just for those of you that are watching and you want to see it properly with the blog, you're going to make that one an H1 because that's going to be the title of your blog, right? Now, I need an introduction paragraph. So what I like to do, you can take this whole thing, this whole first section that it gave us in the outline. I use what's called the one-shot blog post, which is right here, and I paste that section of that into Jasper. And then you give it a tone of voice. You literally could give it, somebody showed me one the other day, one of my students sent me what was it? He did Luke Bryan. Like, I'll show you. Well, I'm going to mess it up if I do that. So he did Luke Bryan. It was so cute because the whole blog turned into y'all and it had the whole twang and accent in there. So you could put in Oprah Winfrey. You could put in, some big sarcastic podcaster, whatever. You can even put in your type in your something that you wrote in a paragraph and ask it to describe it. And then put that in tone of voice. And you can do that in ChatGPT and in Jasper as well, okay? But I most always use creative and active voice. I also like Maya Angelou. Depending on what I'm writing, I like the flow of the Maya Angelou tone of voice. But you can play around with that, okay? So now, what is the good source for learning to prompt? That's such a great question. Right now, I'm on YouTube. I'm testing and measuring a bunch of my own. I think I have an advantage because I've been in content marketing since AOL said you've got mail. So I just kind of know what somebody would ask or what the next thought might be. You don't need to give it exact commands when you're prompting. You don't need to give it like some kind of formal command. In fact, I have on my blog, it's in the description notes. I have 400 ChatGPT prompts for you can download. But all you need to do is have a dialogue with the system. You're asking it, give me an example. One of the things that ChatGPT does really well, and I'll go back, is watch this. What are the pros and cons of selling my house myself? Okay, now this is what we used to do. We would have done this, and then we'd say, what are the pros and cons? Okay, so Jasper, if you're using it, it would just list out the pros and cons. So it's going to look, hold on. Log back in. I would pay $20 for this all day long to not get kicked out. What are the pros and cons of selling a house myself? Okay, so now it's going to make a list of your pros and cons. Now, before we had this tool, some of us would use a WordPress plugin, a table creator, or somehow we would put either print it just like this, which is what most people do. But Google likes structured data. It likes to see things in tables. So do humans. It's more visually pleasing. So whenever I can, I like to put something in a table. So here's a great example. Now watch this. This is something I have not seen Jasper be able to do. We can test it, but right here I'll put that in a table. This is where I like to go back to ChatGPT. So it actually is going to make us a table now, and you can highlight this whole table and copy and paste it right over to your blog. It works as is, at least in my WordPress theme. I'm using WordPress with the Gutenberg blocks. You'll have to test it. You might need a different theme. You might need a different plugin, but it's just a table. You can go paste this over to Google Sheets, or I've got that watermark in the background right now from another extension, but if I turn that off, you could also just copy and paste. You could just do a screenshot and make that an image if you want to. But an image isn't as good for SEO because it's not going to have all the verbs and keywords and data in it. So I would prefer that. So YouTube, watching all of us, the ones of us that are early adopters that are testing it, we share. We come back on YouTube and say, I figured this out. Try this. This is cool. Like for me, one of my absolute favorite prompts is after I do a whole blog, even if I write it in Jasper, I'll throw it into ChatGPT and I'll say, what should I have covered that I didn't? Or is there more? Or what questions might somebody ask when reading this blog, right? Those kinds of things to get better prompts. Now, nobody told me those prompts. I just played around with the system thinking like the person sitting there watching this, what else would they want to know? How do I get more of that out of the content, right? So that's what I personally like to do. Okay, so then over here, after, watch what happens. So now I put this in Jasper, Creative Active Voice. Now I'm going to click Generate AI Content. Now, in my case, I do not know the pricing plans, guys. I do know Jasper's costs some money. I'm grandfathered in to the original rollout where I have unlimited output, so I know I'm lucky. I know. I don't know what it is now, but I know people are spending more than that. So what happens is, I like Steve, that's great advice. Steve said ChatGPT is conversational. That's exactly the right way to describe it. Have a conversation. But works best with specific language prompts. Avoid being wordy in your prompts. And I agree with that completely. I also think working in sections gets a better result than trying to write a whole long blog and then trying to go back to paragraph 2. Or I like to work in sections. Get the first part done, get it how I want it, go on to the next one, go on to the next one. That's been my experience with ChatGPT, because the more it reads, the more it does start to dilute things if I'm trying to get more out of it on a specific topic. Or I'll open a new chat to get more out of that, just that component that I want. Okay, so over here, now look what it gives us. So Jasper gives me, I got 3 really good outputs. I mean, the writing to me is so much better. Where ChatGPT, unless you really get in there with the prompts, it writes book smart, right? Where with Jasper, it can get more creative without the prompts. They'll both do a lot of great things, but this requires less prompting than ChatGPT. And not everybody's going to want to go learn all those prompts. I'm aware of that. Okay, so now watch this. So what I do is I open this. Now I want to test this in my AI detector. So I'm going to highlight it all, and I'm going to open, scan, 100% original. Do you see that difference? I mean, to me, it's just a best practice. We don't know what Google's going to do. But for me, I just would really rather, for right now anyway, have something that is creating different patterns that doesn't immediately come out like AI. Plus, when you're spitting everything out of ChatGPT and it's one question without a bunch of prompts and it's a straight answer, and that's what I think most bloggers are going to do that don't know any better, it's going to all be duplicate content. It's all going to be just the same stuff, where you can get so much more out of when you take the time to either prompt and work in sections or work with something like Jasper. So then what I do is I copy this, I come over here, and I just paste that in, okay? And then you can just delete out your template portions. And I'll work in one section at a time. And so now these are going to be H2s or H3s, depending on where we're at in the blog process, okay? And then I'll go like, let's see, define your goals. So watch how this works. So the first step to creating a killer Instagram marketing plan is to define your goals. What do you hope to achieve with this strategy? Are you looking for brand awareness? Do you want to get more leads or sales? Now, if I want to, I could say right here, give me an example of an Instagram marketing plan, okay? Now, Jasper, you might have to play around with your prompts a little bit too, but you can do the same thing here in the editor that you can do with ChatGPT by prompting it. However, where ChatGPT gets real clever is I can say, give me a 30-day Instagram marketing plan. Watch what it does. And you can craft this however you want to, and you can have them put it in a table. You can have them give you a timeline for it. You can have them give you the formula or you can go into each one of those little pieces and make that a whole blog. I mean, the opportunities are absolutely endless when you look at this. What I did yesterday is I was creating a blog post called How to Hire a Copywriter. And I was working through Jasper and ChatGPT back and forth like I do. And then I thought to myself, you know what would be really helpful if I was hiring a copywriter to actually have a sample of what ad I should run to find that copywriter. How about a sample interview? Okay, so it looks like this. I'll show you the blog, the finished copy. So how to hire a copywriter. Okay, now what I did, you see this is like 3,000 words long. There's a table. There's a Jasper table. I mean, a ChatGPT table example. The rest of this is Jasper. And then I go down, look at this. Sample job description for a copywriter. I had ChatGPT write that. Okay, that portion. And then down here, I actually there's another table. Look at this interview. Here's a sample interview for a copywriter. Introduction, 5 minutes. Experience and background, 10 minutes. The writing process, 10 minutes, because you're going to give them a sample. Marketing and brand awareness discussion, 10 minutes. Collaboration. So it's a 50-minute interview example that somebody can go off of. And if I wanted to plus that, I could now give them the whole list of questions, which I actually did in a table up here somewhere. I gave them here's what I did. Here's the skill you're looking for. Here's the interview questions to ask them to look for that skill. So that was done in ChatGPT. And I'll tell you, this is where I believe we're going I don't think it's going to be about Google caring that you're mass publishing a bunch of stuff using an AI tool, especially since they're rolling out their own AI tools. What I think they're going to care about is this. Did you answer the searcher's intent? Did you help them? Did you provide some sort of value outside of that? And that's where I really like ChatGPT. So I think you need to take all those sections and go in and see what other resource you can give somebody for finding out more information about that. And by the time this is all done, I've got a 3,000, 4,000 word blog post, great visuals, resources, tables, and all of that using the two tools together. So which is better? ChatGPT is better for the chat element. Jasper's better for the writing element. ChatGPT does better with additional things, codes and calculators and tables and those types of processes. So does anybody have any questions before I let you go? I've got a coaching call this afternoon, but I've got a couple more minutes if anybody has a question. In the video description, I did put a list of all the tools that I use in my process. Also a link to the 400 ChatGPT prompts, which I believe it was in the video description. How do you pay to subscribe to ChatGPT? I don't know, Marie. From my understanding, they're rolling it out. They're rolling it out for us. Here's the ChatGPT prompts. I'll put those in the chat. So you're going to get like a notification. If you have not yet been able to log into ChatGPT, there should be a button there that says notify me. From my understanding, they're sending emails to those people that are on the notify me list to make the offer for the $20 sign up. But I don't know any of that for facts. I have not been, like I said, I'm still in for free, so I don't know the answer to that yet. There is no like upgrade button. There isn't on the ChatGPT. I looked all over for it. I'm like, is there a spot I can just go upgrade and pay that $20 to stop getting kicked out? It doesn't exist as of yet. So I just put the link in the chat for the 400 ChatGPT prompts. I now have like 6 or 7 resources related to ChatGPT. So dive in there, click the ChatGPT category, and you can see all the stuff that I've added in there. Just a bunch of different things. So anyway, thanks you guys so much for being here. Yes, Jasper has all kinds of different recipes and templates and ebooks and all of that good stuff. So it's definitely something worth checking out. And appreciate you all. And until the next time, we'll talk to you guys all later.